Hello, everyone, and welcome to the YouTube channel of Being ACCA. This is Tushita and Punya, and with us we have Sir Ahmed Mumtaz. He is the expert faculty for AA and AAA. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out time and coming here. And I would like to inform you that you are the first. We are very blessed to have you as the first expert for our expert session series. So the video is divided into three parts. First is the general questions asked by our audience. Then we have some questions that we would like to ask you, and then there are some fun questions that will help us to get to know you better. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Please introduce yourself briefly to our audience.
Okay, thank you very much, Tushita and Punya. Thank you very much. The overall platform being ACCA. First of all, I congratulate all of you, especially you two. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and I wish you all the best for your future journey. My name is Ahmed, and I am part of AA and AAA. And I started my ACCA back in 2009 and I qualified my ACCA in 2012. But right in the middle of it, in 2010, I started professional teaching. And ever since, I am involved in teaching. And well, if you talk about brief introduction, well, I am into the teaching and I am a huge fan of football. I'm into the movies. I'm into the sport. I'm into, a little bit of everything. Thank you.
Okay, so Punya, let's first begin with our general questions asked by the audience.
Yes. So let's begin with our general questions. First question is, how is AA and AAA different in your opinion from other ACCA papers, and how are they different in the approach as well?
Okay, so first of all, let's talk about AAA. AAA has got 34% pass rate in the last attempt. In the last attempt, ATX was 43, AFM was 47, and SBR and SBL are always either touching 50 or sometimes they tend to cross 50% barrier. Now, AAA is way too different as the results speak for themselves. I think primarily, there are multiple reasons behind AAA being different, AAA being on the lower side when it comes to pass rate. Maybe because of the fact that majority of the students are somehow directly or indirectly involved in audit, so they tend to wrongly believe that because of their practical exposure, they might get an extraordinary advantage, and they might feel or they tend to feel complacent about things. And as a result of that, maybe that's why they are struggling with AAA. But having said that, I truly believe that FR and SBR, along with AA and AAA, are the real backbone of the ACCA or any other chartered accountancy. Because FR and SBR means compliance, AA and AAA means, a cross check, a double check, just to make sure the compliance is for real. So AAA is important. And how AA and AAA are different, first of all, you don't have much room for the spreadsheet in AA and AAA. As a matter of fact, nothing at all. So your number crunching skills, where generally speaking, the Indian and Pakistani students are damn good. That doesn't, help you out in AA and AAA. So considering the fact many of us do not have our first language as an English language, that creates a barrier as well. So yeah, I believe a native English speaking language, someone who's from, let's call it from UK, might have an advantage or two when it comes to the interpretation of, sentences and long paragraphs. So AA and AAA are different just because of the fact that they are completely discussion based paper, no number crunching at all. That might put off some student because it gets boring at times. So yeah.
Okay, so the next question that we have is some of the commonly tested topics that are there in section A as well as B.
For the AA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. For section B, in the AA exam, the examiner is pretty clear. There will be three CRQs, and the three CRQs will focus on the audit risk, internal control systems, and evidence, respectively. But having said that, the examiner will definitely incorporate minor topics such as audit reports, such as ethics, You might have a flavor of corporate governance in uh, with the integration of control system question. So it's very common to have an audit report question within the substantive procedure question. So the main focus, 50 mark out of the 70 mark, will be around somewhere around the major topics such as risk controls and procedures. But still within the section B, the other topics would be tested. As far as section A is concerned, well, anything could be tested in section A. Anything. All the syllabus areas are equally important. For section A, if somebody could score 20 or more marks in section A, he or she is bound to pass the paper.
Okay, so the next question that we have is how to elaborately write and differentiate between test of controls and control recommendations.
Oh, that's a nightmare for majority of the double A students because once they are done with the controls, they're feeling pretty confident, pretty okay with it. Once they are done with the substantive procedures, they tend to create chidiya lai dal ka dana, chida laya chawal ka dana, and everything mixes it up. Okay, so in order to understand or in order to differentiate between test of controls and substantive procedures, first of all, we have to understand there is a thing called audit procedures. Audit procedure is something which the auditor would plan and execute with a certain objective in mind. So the first audit procedure is, as you referred, test of control. Test of what? Test of control. So auditor would come up with an action where the auditor would try to confirm whether the control systems designed and implemented by the management are working effectively or not. Are they, are they promising enough or not? So the target or the agenda or the objective is to confirm how good or bad the control system is designed and implemented by the management. But when it comes to substantive procedure, you're not focused on the policies and procedures. You're not focused on the fact whether the purchase was authorized or not, whether the signature was there or not, whether the document was sequentially numbered or not, whether the CCTV camera was actually working or not. Rather, when it comes to substantive procedure, your focus is on the fact whether the financial statements, again, just like the control system, designed and implemented by the management, financial statements prepared by the management are reflecting a true and fair view or not. So it's about evaluating whether the numbers are in line with the IFRS or not. So there is a clear cut differentiation, and the differential point is the objective of the action. Objective is to confirm whether the control is operating effectively or whether the numbers are reflecting a true and fair view.
Okay, so let's begin the questions that we have for you.
Okay.
So, a lot of students tend to do a selective study for the three topics that you just mentioned that are repeatedly tested in section B of AA. So, what do you think about selective study? Does it affect the students' chances of passing the exam?
Okay, there is a very simple and no, there is not a simple one, but there is a secret philosophy in ACCA, and it's more secure as compared to Mr. Bond or, for that matter, um, what's the character of the Mission Impossible series? What's the character name of the Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible series? Okay, what I'm trying to say is that ACCA will somehow or the other will realize which topic you left for as a selective study topic, which topic you didn't prepare, and they will make sure that will come up in your exam. So you are going to say, "Oh God, only this topic was left out." Never have I ever heard from anyone that this topic comes in the exam. Why me? So in ACCA, this is going to be your bread and butter for the rest of your life. So I don't think so. You're supposed to make any compromise whatsoever because this is going to be your future, and nobody, pushed you for this. I don't think so that ACCA is something which could be, pursued with a family pressure or some any other kind of. It has to come, from the bottom of your heart. It's your dream. You want to be an ACCA member, so I think you should prepare each and every topic, and you should pay equal respect to each and every topic because one day or the other, each and every topic will help you out. If not in the final exam, maybe somewhere in your interview, maybe somewhere when you are going to come up with your own startup. and you will get rid of the job and you will start up. So one day or the other, everything will pay you back. So there's no point of selective study in ACCA.
Very well said, sir. I completely agree. So, you have taught me AAA. I cleared only because I was mentored by you. So, I have found my fascination in the field of audit. What would you tell me that, maybe if I choose my career into audit, what can I expect in the I have learned the theoretical aspect. You have taught me that. Now you tell me what should I expect if I go to the actual field of doing audit.
Okay, first of all, you have to be someone who is a foodie, food lover. Secondly, you have to be someone who loves traveling. If that is the case, you will enjoy the field work. Um, but on a very lighter note, I would say, as compared to external audit, internal audit has got huge potential. Job wise, job security is on a very high side when it comes to internal audit. Uh, there are a lot more internal audit job opportunities available as compared to the qualified internal auditors which are available for the job. So, for if you are willing to move or if you want to excel in the field of audit, two thumbs up. Go on, enjoy. Auditors are generally speaking, they are a little introvert. They don't tend to, you know, they have to keep a face. And normally speaking, it's a perception that auditors do have very deep pockets. So you have to be on your toes. And if you enjoy, uh, going out, and because you need to travel a lot when it comes to audit, so go on and enjoy the work.
Okay, so another question, not related to this one, but when you check the answer scripts, I know it is very daunting for you to check theoretical scripts, but how can students make their answer scripts stand out? For example, if I am appearing for the exam and I want to make sure that my answer script looks very different and looks good to the examiner, what are some things that I can do so that the examiner gets impressed and passes me?
Thank you very much, first of all, for acknowledging the fact that AA and AAA mark script are sometimes, or well, more often than not, they are a nightmare to evaluate. It's very convenient to mark FR script. It's very convenient to mark tax script. In fact, tax script is the easiest one to mark because there is hardly any shocking things element in it. But when it comes to AA and AAA, there is a huge amount of bobby in it because there is sometimes the language or the structure of the sentence is so shocking that it really puts off the tutor or the marker. Yeah. Anyway, in order to improve or in order to make sure your script stands out or your script at least looks, decent, I think when it comes to AAA, the professional marks would be the decisive factor. A solid introductory paragraph with an appropriate format of the briefing note, a solid heading which does not incorporate much creative writing. Make sure you stick to the basics. Make sure you stick to the instructions available in the past papers and the examiner report. I think that would give slightly more favorable situation or a slightly more, you know, authentic answer. And secondly, I think AA and AAA both are monotonous exams. So it's impossible that we three go on for a AA exam and none of us faces provision. It's impossible. The provision would be tested either in audit risk or in the case of evidence substantive procedure question. So, do we need to create our own language, jargon, own words when it comes to having a discussion on provision? Not really. I think it's a monotonous exam. We need to work harder. We need to realize that we are not Shakespeare and we won't be able to create good stuff on the final exam day. So, we got to appreciate those words. We got to make sure we stick to the key phrases or keywords. So when it comes to AAA, if you are having a discussion on businesses, for example, in the context of liquidity problems, or if the company or the client is looking forward to move in a remote area or a far land, a new jurisdiction, what altogether, I think the phrases, the words are very much repetitive. And A, one has to understand everything, and then one has to practice and capitalize on that so that the writing skills are automatically improved.
Okay, so this section has ended. Punya will take over the next section.
Okay, let's now begin with the last section which we have fun questions for you. So first is how do you like to spend your time when you are not teaching or not taking any live classes or basically not working?
Okay. First of all, I've got including me. We are four friends, and we are like at least twice a week. We usually have a meetup, and once the meetup is there, it starts around 6 7 p.m. local time, and it ends around sometimes 11 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 a.m., and so on. Because one of the friends out of the four is working with a UK based organization. So they've outsourced the work over here and they are into the ATX and tax stuff, bookkeeping and taxation and VAT and HMRC and all that stuff. It's pretty common and it's growing day by day post COVID. So his off is, his timings are very, it doesn't match with the rest of the others, and as a result of that the meetup gets longer and longer. So first of all, yeah, I've got friends, good ones. Secondly, I'm into the movies and Netflix, Amazon Prime. I have to switch from one platform to the other and from the second to the first.
Okay, that's great. Now we have some this or that questions for you, and we like you to answer as fast as you can. So let's
Okay.
start. First is teaching or studying.
Teaching, teaching.
Then we have ACCA Study Hub or normal Kepler and BVP kits.
Well, ACCA Study Hub is yet to prove its mettle, so I would say, to be on the safe side, go for the study
Okay.
tech.
Now teaching AA or teaching AAA.
I can teach double A right in the middle of night, even if you're going to wake me up from like. But for triple A, I need to be, attentive. So
Okay.
double A,
Okay. So taking live classes or marking answer scripts.
taking live classes, taking live. I don't want to mark anything. I have to. I will mark, but it's no fun.
Okay. So I think the last two would be the most difficult ones for you. Let's see. Atif Aslam or Arijit Singh.
Okay. I'm not going to be biased over here. I swear to God, I used to make fun of Atif Aslam for ages. For ages. I used to say, "आपको आदत है मुझको." I used to make fun of him. Well, actually, I am still a Sonu Nigam fan. But, then Arjit Singh happened and he's a phenomenon in his own. So Arjit Singh.
So last one is Messi or Ronaldinho.
Messi, 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 Messi. Any
Okay.
given day, Messi. And by the way, Messi scored few hours ago. Literally few hours ago. Because when I woke up, I checked the score is 2-1 with Messi scoring in the 7th minute for Inter Miami. Well, now consider the fact Messi is in Inter Miami, so I have to follow Inter Miami now. And then final score was 4-4, and then he scored on the penalty shootout as well. So Messi, any given day, for sure.
That's interesting.
Okay, so I hope you liked that section, sir. At the end,
Great.
since the September exams are just around the corner, I would like you to give any small tips that you may have for AA and AAA students before you go.
Okay, starting from AAA, if anyone out there who's going to attempt AAA exam on 4th September 2023, you have to make sure there are at least 4 to 5 recent technical articles, which were, to be precise, published in April. They cover business risk, they cover audit risk, they cover question number one in general. So there are few technical articles which are a must read technical article before the exam, and it will brush you up and it will make sure that you will score, significant marks when it comes to your professional marks. And definitely, I'm going to compile top 10 technical articles for the September 2023 exam. Moreover, I will make sure that I relate those technical articles with a relevant past paper question. Because if you're reading a technical article, it's good. If you're not reading it, it's really bad. But if you are reading a technical article along with the integration with a particular past paper question, that is wonderful. That is awesome. So that's the pro tip for AAA students. As far as AA students are concerned, well, all around the globe, the AA students are running and preparing audit risk, control, and procedures. But are you preparing 3 OTQs per day with solution using both the Kaplan and the BPP kit? We still have got 27, 28 days left in the exam, and we have got hardly 90 OTQs, including both the Kaplan and BPP. So it is possible to cover all the OTQs before the final exam. And if you will do it, you will ace the section A, which will lead you towards the glory in the section B as well, because you will have a wonderful start of your final exam. And that will give you super motivation. So that's the pro tip for AA.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much to take out time and come here for the students, and we hope that this session will benefit a lot of those who are preparing for AA and AAA. With this, we have come to an end for this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you very much.